Hey guys, what's going on? This is Kyle with HOGWORKZ here in our Michigan R&D shop. This is our 14 plus outer fairing for 14 to current touring models. This fairing is going to come available in a variety of OEM color match finishes painted right here in the Motor City. The cool part about this fairing is we decided to build in some LED lights. So here you're going to have white DRLs and amber signals. These are sequential signals. These things are badass, extremely bright, and are going to completely change the front end of your machine. Best of all, this is a direct OEM replacement part, meaning it's going to use all your factory hardware and includes the wire harnesses that creates a plug-and-play seamless installation. We're going to let Alex demonstrate just how easy this is to get this on your machine. Let's jump into it.
So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and remove the headlight. So we'll remove the trim ring, then we'll pull the headlight and the mount off of this fairing because we're going to put it onto our new fairing. Anytime you're doing any kind of work on the front is to get one of our HOGWORKZ fender covers. That way if you drop anything, at least your fender doesn't get dinged up. So there's one screw down here at the bottom. See, like that, there that goes. So you pull your trim ring out. And then with the Phillips, go ahead and take your 3 screws out. Your OEM headlight might be a little bit different, but pretty much the same thing. You just want to get the headlight out and the mounting ring off the fairing. So the mounting ring. Unplug your light. And again, this is going to go on your new fairing. So there's your headlight mounting ring. After you have your headlight and the mounting ring out, you want to go ahead and remove your windshield. Ours has our HOGWORKZ spike horn screws in it. So these are 7/16. Some guys may have like a 4 mil. Some guys might have like a T15 screw that holds these on. That's your trim piece. So once you got the front trim piece off, before you pull the windscreen off, you want to come back here and just loosen up the 2 bolts on each side that hold the outer fairing to the inner fairing. And this here, we're using a T25. One there and one down here. And then just notice that they are different lengths. The longer one goes up in the top and the shorter one goes down bottom. You can kind of pull the outer forward a little bit, pull your windshield out. So then after you got that, the outer should just come right off just like that. So you want to reuse these OEM clips that your screw is going to go into. So you can just go ahead with the screwdriver, pull them off the old fairing. Then you want to pop off this little vent piece here. It's got some 3M tape on it, so it's probably not a bad idea to throw some 3M on here. There are some clips on this little trim bezel here, and there are clips on the new fairing, but I even noticed with this OEM and this being OEM, sometimes this thing will rattle a little bit inside, even like I say, the OEM fairing. So I always try and put some 3M on there just to get it to stick. That's kind of why this one already has it on there, but it's being left on the old fairing. So we'll just cut a couple little pieces and stick some back on here so that it can go onto the new fairing. So the 3M tape, I put it kind of right by the clips here. That's usually where most of the play is at. And then on the top, just right in the middle. The new fairing is going to come with 3 different harnesses. One is going to connect to the OEM hookup here. So that's going to be this from here to here. And then if you have an OEM headlight, you can just go ahead and hook this into your OEM headlight. Since we're running our HOGWORKZ light, we're going to use the same connector that we took off of here, and we're just going to put it onto there. And then you have one of these for each side, and these are going to, I call them splitters. They're going to split the power and the turn signal from the side here. So once you have these hooked up, you'll come inside here, and what you're going to do is disconnect the connection of your blinker, which is kind of tucked up inside here. To hook up your turn signals, you want to splice into the side turn signal light here. So this is the connection that you're going to take apart, and you're going to put this in its place. So we'll go ahead and reach in there and disconnect that. And then this one end goes into this side. The other end goes into this side over here. So what you have is this. So then you'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Reach in here and disconnect this connection. Take your adapter, one end into here, the other end into the one you just took off. So you go ahead and connect that up just like the other side. So now what you have here is your turns, your running, neutral wires. So you'll have one for each side this way and this way. So what you should end up with is 3 bullet connectors on this side, 3 bullet connectors on the other side. With the connections you just made there, these are what you're gonna end up plugging them into. You know, obviously the white's to white, yellow to yellow, black to black. So, but before we do that, we're going to reinstall the headlight bracket with our 4 screws. And again, don't just go tighten them down right away. You want to make sure you get them all started before you do that. Okay, go ahead, tighten them the rest of the way. Now we're ready to install the fairing. So we'll go ahead and make our connections here. Make sure your protective sleeves are over the connection. So like here, I've got the right side hooked up. Go ahead and, so you got white to white, yellow to yellow, black to black. So now we're gonna go ahead and put this trim piece in like that. Press it down. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and put our clips back in here for our screws that we took off. So go ahead and just push these guys on here. You'll want it with this side down, the side the screw is gonna go into. Now you're ready to throw the fairing back on. You have both your light sides hooked up. Put this through the headlight hole here. All right, so what you can do is start putting the fairing back on. So make sure your wires are tucked in, line it up, and then just to kind of temporarily hold it, take one of your windscreen bolts. I'm gonna use the middle one and just kind of loosely put it on there with your finger. And what that'll let you do is hold the front fairing while you go ahead and start these ones on the outside. So with the long screw on the top, go ahead and push it in so you get it started a little bit. Same thing with the one on the bottom. And go to the other side. Again, you just want to get them started because you got to get your windshield back in here. So this is just going to kind of hold it for a second. So now that you got those done, take this out. Hit your windshield where you can't reach it normally while it's off with a little bit of cleaner. Now we're just going to kind of pull this forward just a little bit, line that middle one up, and slide her down. You got a trim piece back out. And again, I just hand tighten these until you get them all in. Finish tightening these up with your 7/16, or like I say, you might have an Allen on here, you might have a Torx. Just depends what kind of windshield you're running. All right, so once you got your windshield back on and tightened down, you go ahead and tighten these 4 fairing screws. All right, now you're ready to put your headlight back in. Go ahead and plug this in. Go ahead and tuck these wires back in the fairing. Line up your tabs. You just want to kind of get that snug. You don't want to tighten it down all the way again until you get these other ones at least started. Yep, it's tight. It's tight. All right, the last thing to do is put the trim ring back on and put that screw in there and tighten it up, and then we'll turn it on and give it a check.